The beloved community is a movement striving to achieve the all-inclusive sisterhood and brotherhood about which Martin Luther King wrote. Today's presentation covers many forms of human expression, from literature to dance to music to the visual word. Each of these media will attempt to provide us with a possible roadmap to counteract the hatred that is systemic in our society. I will try to answer the questions through literature, dance, and music. How are we to be instructed? Where do we seek the guidance? Could we find the answer in our shared arts and literature? Our society's theologies, although there are many, can be said to be headed by the Judeo, Christian, and Muslim faiths. The Jewish faith, in the Talmud's first chapter, known as Genesis, tells us the following. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was moving over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning of day one. The Christian faith states it slightly differently in the Gospel of John, which says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of mankind." Each of those scriptures describes how our world came about. The verses I chose for the Islamic faith contain a twist. One of the main writers of the Islamic faith is named Jalal al-Din Rumi, commonly referred to simply as Rumi, a writer from the Sufi sect of Islam. He wrote during the 13th century in Persia, in a country now known as Iran. He is considered a mystic poet. One of the ways the Muslims from the Sufi sect decided to express Rumi's words can be seen today in Istanbul at the Mevlevi Museum, where the Sunday worship consists of whirling dervishes. The dervishes dance by whirling for long periods of time. It is said that not only do the dervishes spin within the world, but that the world spins about them at the same time. The spinning is performed as a remembrance of God. I came to know of Rumi when I attended the 2010 All-State Choir's performance in Rochester with my son, who participated. They performed many pieces, but the one that captured the evening was a part of a piece written in 2007 by the composer Christopher Theophanides, named Messages to Myself, Part 2, Rumi, a portion which quoted Rumi's poem, "God picks up the reed flute, whirled and blows." The composition speaks of how God brings the world into existence by blowing through the flute, and more importantly, each of us, while only being of one note, must play it, sing it, be it with all of our passion in order to bring about God's composition, his vision. It ends by warning that if it, meaning our joined voices, fade, we fade. God's kingdom fades. Unexpectedly, the same vision of God's kingdom is found in the opening pages of the Silmarillion by J.R.R. Tolkien, where the image of a heavenly choir's many voices coming together create and uphold our world. Finally, for those of us not gifted with either dancing skills or heavenly voices, the following verses from my native land's first poet, José Martí of Cuba, should help guide us in all our future actions. Cultivo una rosa blanca en junio como en enero, para el amigo sincero que me da su mano franca, y para el cruel que me arranca el corazón con que vivo, cardo ni ortigo cultivo una rosa blanca. I grow a white rose in June just as in January, for my sincere friend that extends his hand in friendship. But for the cruel one who tears out the heart with which I live, neither thorns nor thistles do I grow a white rose. And so, in the end, we can arrive at the realization that to counteract hate, one has to simply find your note, your movement, your verse, and then dance to it, or sing it, or share it freely with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your being.